You're listening to the Long Game Podcast. I'm your host, Sandra Scaiano. A past client recently reached out to me. I had developed their website 5+ years ago. The client didn't work with me for maintenance ongoing. And, we've connected a few times over the past years until they recently reached out when their whole website went offline. And with a business like mine, many times the MO is to work together and then people go on their merry way. I am happy for them to have a digital product that they can rely on and work with, and it can last for 5+ years and going, right? But I am the oh shit contact when something goes wrong. 9 times out of 10, it's something not even with their website. This time was one of those times where the client's credit card expired and the host didn't let them know that charges for their plan didn't go through. So this was a quick fix. And when the client texted me thanks, they also asked if I still do website updates. Of course I do. Look how I answered your frazzled text and pointed you in the right direction to fix the situation right away. But this conversation led to larger thoughts about keeping in touch with past clients, letting them know what we're up to, what services we provide, and more. Today, we are talking about ways to stay connected with those you have worked with in the past. The long game is past client connection. You're listening to the Long Game Podcast with Sandra Scaiano. In a world where everyone is doing, it's easy to get lost in a sea of comparison, secret tricks, and promises of overnight success. The long game is my approach to business, the actual day in and day out philosophy that you have to show up, you have to do the work, and there's no quick fixes for long-term success. I'm a web designer, digital strategist, and energetic thinker, and I'm here to share the process and lessons I experience with my clients daily who are going through the same struggles of building a business as you are. We'll hear from successful entrepreneurs sharing their long game strategies, and I'm fun, so we're going to have a little fun along the way too. Thanks for being here. Let's get to today's episode. It's easy to let relationships with past clients lapse, especially if you're busy with current clients and prospects and, just working on a bunch of projects. We all have to move on at some point, but staying in touch with your past clients is an important part of your long-term success. And this is the long game after all, people, right? And we are always talking about relationships here. Keep in touch is one of the tenets of my P.E.A.K framework. K in P.E.A.K stands for keep in touch. And this is the anchor in your business strategy. In client relationships, just like in friendships, you may not talk for a while, but both parties are happy to hear from one another when you do. And sometimes I think of someone and I just drop them a personal email, and it always leads to a great back and forth catch up, like no big commitments on there. And more often than not, too, your past clients think of you as a resource to them and their business. So staying in touch is really appreciated by them. All right, let's talk about why it's important to reconnect with past clients. One, you never know when they're going to need your services again. Just because a client doesn't need your services right now doesn't mean that they won't need them in the future. And by staying in touch, you're nurturing that relationship always. You'll be top of mind when they do need your services again. And like in my story earlier, you can reinforce the services that you provide. Another reason is that they can refer new clients to you. Even if a past client doesn't need your services again, they may know someone who does. So by staying in touch, you create an opportunity for them to refer new business your way. And number 3, it's good for your brand. When past clients see that you're still interested in them and their business, they know that you are a good partner. It's not about selling all the time. Keeping in touch means you are human and you value them as partners to your business. And I know I can hear it even through the airwaves. Some of you saying, yes, staying in touch is a great idea, but I can't even get family holiday cards out anymore. How am I going to find the time for all this keeping in touch? Well, you make time for this because it's good business. And when you consider some of the ideas that we're going to go over next, it doesn't have to be an all-consuming practice. All right. I'm going to go over 5 ways that you can keep in touch. Number 1 is make the first move. You don't have to wait for your past clients to get in touch with you. Take the initiative and reach out to them. A simple text, phone call, or email can go a long way towards rekindling your relationship. Did something make you think of them and you wonder how they're doing? Like, drop them a note and ask. Find out how they're doing. Ask about their family or interests outside of business if you had that type of relationship. Again, this is a no strings attached approach. It's just seeing how you are doing type of correspondence. It's simple and authentic. Number 2, one of my favorite ways to keep in touch is to send a client a relevant article or blog post. If you come across something that you think they would find interesting or it's news on their industry, send it their way. They will appreciate the thought and it will keep you top of mind. I mentioned in episode 111 some benefits of being well read for your business. And this is another one. This is one of those benefits. Reading news from various sources allows for you to find articles and posts that may relate to your client's industry or specialty, and then you can share them with them, right? Like none of us can read everything. So, sending it to them and sharing it always prompts interesting conversation, and it lets your client know that you know them and you want them to be up on the latest and aware of what's going on in their industry. All right, number 3, a little more organized approach to keeping in touch is to make sure you have your clients tagged in your email system. Then you can send them, not your entire list, specific emails with client-only information. You can send emails as frequent or as spread out, whatever works for you. But the point is, you are sharing info here that they are only getting through their connection to you. So this could be updates in your industry. So for instance, I'm putting together an email for my clients on the updates that are taking place with Google Analytics. This is of particular interest to them and their websites, and I am the only person in their world who would be providing this information to them, right? So you can also share in a client-only email new services that you offer or invites to events you might be hosting, all kinds of things like that. And even though some of this may go out to your larger list, using the client-only segment allows for you to customize the correspondence and make it super targeted. You know exactly who you are talking to. And, your clients, your past clients may also be on your general email newsletter list. And this is great too. That's fine. But these special select emails, they aren't sent en masse and they can do a lot for connection in comparison. All right, number 4, here's another way to reconnect with your past clients and keep in touch. Social media, right? This one seems like a no-brainer, but the key here is to actually engage with your clients' posts, not just like them and breeze by. Like write a memorable comment or one that sparks continued conversation. That is really helping your clients to succeed. And each platform sends a notification so your client will know that you thoughtfully chimed in. And regular engagement, it's going to keep you in the mix and it shows your support. And to keep this idea from getting overwhelming, I know that can happen with social media. Set aside a specific time, 30 minutes or an hour per week, just to comment on your client's socials. You are not perusing the platform here. You are going to specific accounts and looking at their postings to comment. And this way, you're not going to get lured away from your task. Like stay focused, okay? Also, you should choose one platform to support the client on. It may be Instagram for one or LinkedIn for another. You do not have to be everywhere, but support your clients on their main stage so that you can help them grow. All right. And number 5, for a way to keep in touch with past clients is send some business their way. Refer a customer. If you know someone who your past client could help with a problem or someone in need of their services, make the introduction. Depending on the capacity that you worked with the client, I'll bet that you know their business pretty well. And that makes you a really good barometer for client matches. Sending someone business is the ultimate in saying, I value what you do. I trust that you will take care of this person. And whether or not the match results in business, your past client will be grateful and know that you are supporting their business. Now, I realize that in these 5 tips, some of them are of the moment, like when you think of someone or, when you find an interesting article, when you have someone to refer. But as you are out and about in real life or in your digital life for your own business, you can keep your clients in mind. Things you see and people you meet can all spark an idea or make for a good introduction to a past client. The idea here is to get out of your own little bubble and have relationship marketing be part of how you do business on the regular. Be aware when you are reading. Be aware when you are out networking. Who are you reminded of? You should take that next step and reach out. One thing with the ideas here is that they don't have to be these huge endeavors, like write up a 10 email sequence. It's not heavy like that. It's not contrived like that. This isn't about sales and selling in the moment like that. And that's why we can all do some of this. Keeping connection with past clients is about relationships. So have it be part of what you do. Be open to the idea and you will start to see the articles. It will spark the thoughts to reach out. And then you just got to do it. Don't let the idea pass you by. All right, guys. I hope you take some of this and implement it and have a great week. Bye. Thanks for joining me today. You can access more info in the show notes at thelonggamepodcast.net. If today's show connected with you in some way, please share it with your friends or hop on iTunes and leave me a review. Until next time, keep playing the long game. This podcast is part of the Sound Advice FM network. Sound Advice FM, women's voices amplified.